most well-known and popular TV shows of all time is Lost, a story about a plane crashing on a mysterious island and all of the survivors work together to live so they don't die alone. Haha, see what I did there? Lost took the world by storm and everyone was watching it. I didn't watch it when it was airing, but I did a few years later and just loved it. The plot, characters, and mystery were addicting. Lost was definitely popular for a reason. I was thinking back on the show recently when a question popped into my mind. Does Lost have a video game? It was pretty common for popular media to get video game adaptations around this time, and Lost was huge. I looked into it, and that's when I discovered Lost via Domus. It exists, a Lost video game, and let me tell you, it is bizarre. This game has been living rent-free in my brain for the past week and a half because of all the weird moments in it. I knew very quickly after starting this game that I had to share it with you all. I mean, you know how much I love sharing bad video games with you guys. Now, if you've never seen Lost before, no need to worry, it's not a huge deal, and I'll fill you in on anything that you need to know. Now, that being said, if you're worried about spoilers for a show that ended over 10 years ago, maybe don't watch this one. But okay, enough of this introduction, let me tell you all about the weird Lost video game. The game opens with the plane crashing and our protagonist waking up on the island. He gets up and sees a dead body, which does not faze him in the slightest. Then he runs into one of the main characters, Kate, who is just standing in the woods for some reason, and is kind of mean.
Please just go away. I don't know, and I can't help you find it right now. Now please. Leave me alone.
She tells him to look for a dog, and it'll lead him to the crash site. He finds the dog and yells at it.
Hey, dog! Hey, dog!
At the crash site, a bunch of the other characters are there, and they look awful. Oh, Hurley, what happened to you? You meet the infamous John Locke, who tells you to help the others, while he just sits there and sways his feet like a little kid. If you haven't seen Lost, John was wheelchair bound, but when he crashes on the island, he can magically walk again. So I guess this feet swaying is supposed to represent him getting used to moving his legs again. But in the show, he got up and started running around helping people. Alright, John, circle time is over. I know you can move, so get up and start helping people. Okay, so then there's Michael, who's looking for his son Walt and calling his name.
Whoa!
Throughout this entire section of the game, you can just faintly hear him yelling, "Walt!" in the background.
No.
So then we finally meet the main character of the Lost TV show, Jack. He demands that you stop a fuel leak while he gives CPR with intense music in the background.
No, but I need you to help with that fuel leak. Right now, get to the plane. I told you. You need to stop that fuel leak before the whole plane goes up in flames. The fuel leak's there. Move!
Okay, well, what if I don't know how to stop a fuel leak, Jack? Luckily, our protagonist is able to do it, but then there's an explosion. Then it just changes to night, and everyone is fine. I guess the explosion wasn't a huge deal. The main character tells Jack that he has amnesia, and then Jack just gets on the ground. Jack? What are you doing down there, buddy? The protagonist gets attacked by a man in a suit. He says that he wants the camera and the photo that's on it. He knocks him out and runs off. The next day, a group runs out of the woods, yelling about a monster. You don't get to see it though. It just cuts back to gameplay after that, and if you talk to the characters, they just tell you that they saw a monster. Much like in the show, Jack, Kate, and Charlie found the cockpit of the plane, but were attacked by a mysterious smoke monster. Our protagonist wants to go there to see if he can find the camera the black suit guy mentioned, but Jack is standing guard at the forest. He won't let anyone in now that there's a monster. Does Jack not realize how easy it would be to just enter the forest from somewhere else? He is standing at one spot when the forest stretches across the whole island. That's not the only way in. The main character regains a memory of him on a trip with a woman named Lisa. She lies to a fisherman and tells him there's a problem somewhere else. He runs off and they steal his boat so they can have some fun on the water. The poor fisherman. This flashback makes the protagonist realize that he could lie to Jack and distract him so he can go into the forest. Or you could just enter from somewhere else. Also, you really couldn't come up with the idea to lie without that memory? He tells Jack that someone passed out, so he runs off to help, and now he can head to the cockpit. You enter the woods, and then this happens.
Hey, son, over here. I'm over here at the Banyan Trees.
John will repeat this line until you go and talk to him.
Hey, son, over here. I'm over here at the Banyan Trees. Hey, son, over here. I'm over here at the Banyan Trees. Hey, son, over here. I'm over here at the Banyan Trees.
Truthfully, I cannot get this moment out of my head. It is so weird and funny to me. John tells you how to get to the cockpit. On the way there, a guy starts shooting at you, and then he gets eaten by a smoke monster, and the main character has no reaction at all. there, you find the camera, but then Ben and Juliet show up, looking like live-action Tweedledee and Tweedledum. For those who don't know, Ben and Juliet are part of a mysterious group that lives on the island called the Others. They say that the protagonist might be the one and knock him out. You wake up back at the beach, and Hurley tells you that while you were gone, they were attacked by the Others, and now Jack thinks you're one of them. As you talk to Hurley, you see Saeed in the background doing something. The protagonist found his old laptop and is told that John knows where he can find a battery for it. Wait, laptop? What about the camera? We went the whole way to the cockpit for it. Are we not going to check it for the picture the guy in the suit mentioned? The answer is no, you don't check it. But now you can take pictures of things. Woo! John doesn't want to give you the laptop battery. There's another flashback where the protagonist and Lisa are talking about getting dirt on a guy named Savo. Then he sees John in his wheelchair. He goes up to him and is like, I know you used to be in a wheelchair, and now John agrees to help to keep his secret. He tells you to go into the forest and follow the trees with markings on them. This leads you to the hatch, which is a location that's kind of a big deal in the show. John arrives and is all, I see you've discovered another one of my secrets.
Looks like you've discovered another one of my secrets.
Sir, you led me here. Then he makes you wander around a creepy dark cave until you find a compass. He shows up and gives you the laptop battery and says the island provides.
I was starting to think this battery didn't exist.
The island provides.
I know John Locke was kind of weird in the show, but he is on another level in this game. Why did we need to do all of that for a laptop battery? Later, Saeed agrees to try and decrypt the laptop to find out more information about our protagonist. He also tells him that if he wants to go inside the hatch, he'll need to remember his name so he can see if he's on the list of passengers, and then they'll know for sure he's not one of the others. He has a flashback where he and Lisa are trying to get a picture of this Savo guy. Then she very conveniently says his full name.
Elliot Maslow.
Thank God, because now I can stop calling him the protagonist. Elliot and Saeed enter the hatch, but a door drops down between them. Saeed says he'll get help and runs off. You have to do an escape room type game to get out. Jack and Saeed show up and call Elliot a liar. Saeed says that he's decrypted the laptop. Dude, you were supposed to be getting me help, not hacking into my laptop.
I'll go to get help. I was able to decrypt your laptop.
Saeed found lists of illegal weapons, surveillance maps, nerve agents, and human test subjects. Now they think that Elliot is actually a bad guy, so they attack him and lock him up. Kate is guarding the door and won't let him out. He has a flashback where he remembers that he's a photojournalist. Really, Elliot? You didn't know that? Even I figured that out already. Every flashback he's had has been about him and Lisa working on a story about a guy named Savo. Not only that, but every time he takes a picture, he says stuff like this.
Perfect. That's why I get the big bucks.
Why would you say those things if you didn't know you were a journalist? Anyway, he tells Kate this, so she releases him. Then there's a chase scene with the smoke monster with some awesome voice clips. Elliot runs into Juliet, who tells him that the night before the crash, Lisa's body was found and he killed her. There is yet another flashback where Elliot remembers that he and Lisa were trying to get information on Savo because he was doing human experiments. They needed to get past one of his guards, so Elliot told him that Lisa is a journalist and the guard takes her away. Elliot is like, I didn't kill her, the guard did. Yeah, still your fault, buddy. Later, he finds the guy in the suit, who we now know is one of Savo's men, talking to this eye patch guy, who is apparently a character in the show, but I have no memory of him. Elliot kills the suit guy, and then the others knock out and kidnap him. When he wakes up, he meets with Ben and Juliet. Ben wants Elliot to lead Jack to this big ship on the island called the Black Rock. If he does this, he'll give Elliot a way home. Back at the beach, Jack agrees to go with him to the Black Rock. Kate wants to go, but Elliot says she should stay because it'll be dangerous. Kate gets super offended by this and is like, wow, so this is the person you are with your memories?
If this is the man you used to be, I'm sad to see you remember so much.
Yeah, he's really terrible for trying to keep you safe. She secretly follows them anyway, and then both she and Jack are captured by the others. Then Elliot has another flashback. He broke into Savo's room to get a picture of him making a deal to work on human experimentation stuff. Then Lisa is brought in by the guard and shot. Elliot snaps a picture of it and runs. Savo notices him, and that's why he sent one of his men after him. Elliot is like, oh my god, I sacrificed Lisa for a photo. He doesn't want to make the same mistake, so he causes an explosion to take out the others, knocking himself out in the process. Jack decides to leave Elliot, probably because he's tricked him multiple times now. When he comes to, Juliet is there. She tells him that there's a boat on the shore he can use to escape, but he has to hurry because Ben is going to have it blown up in 2 minutes. She also tells Elliot that Ben was wrong about him. Wrong about what? Exactly? You know what? Whatever. There's no time to figure that out. We've got to get to that boat. He gets there just as one of Ben's men arrives on another boat, but John shows up and shoots him. He tells Elliot that he's found his path. and that path is going home and showing the world the truth about Savo. Yeah, that's great and all, but I really would not recommend going home. Leaving the island did not go too well for the other characters on the show.
We have to go back!
Elliot sets sail, but then he looks up and sees a plane splitting apart and falling to the ground. He wakes up at the crash site of the plane, all of the characters there once again. Lisa runs up to him and says, "Elliot, we made it. We're alive." Roll credits. Okay, I have no clue what that ending means. Was everything we played through up until now just a dream? Did Elliot jump to a different timeline? Did he actually go home and reveal the truth, causing him to then go back in time, and Lisa is alive now that he's set things right? I know that sounds insane, but it is not out of the realm of possibility for Lost. Anyway, there's no explanation for this. No one knows for sure what this ending means, so your guess is as good as mine. But yeah, that is Lost via Domus. It certainly is a game. Is it the worst game ever made? No, but it is a weird one. The story is just very confusing. Like, what were the others trying to do that whole time, and why were they so obsessed with Elliot? Why is Elliot just allowed to leave the island when it's so bad for the other characters to do in the show? What does the ending mean? And most importantly, why did John make you wander through a scary cave before he gave you the laptop battery?
The island provides.
The logic of the characters and just the way they acted was odd.
I'll go to get help. I was able to decrypt your laptop.
The gameplay is pretty rough too. Most of the time you're either asking the characters questions or aimlessly wandering through the forest without a map. Occasionally you'll get to do a puzzle or something, but usually you're just talking and walking. And of course, who could forget how this game looks? This game really is something special. If there are other TV shows or movies that have cheesy video game adaptations that you want me to talk about, definitely let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe to see more content from me. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go, but if you need me, I'll be in the Banyan Trees.
Hey son, over here. I'm over here at the Banyan Trees.